let's start with this Moist Critical video. Not really sure, didn't really read any too much up on any background or anything. You know, I kind of like listening to what he says. You know, he has good, I would say, like the normal takes, like as normal as you could be as for a person online. You feel me? So let's check him out though.
Howard.
So this is Terrance Howard.
You gotta watch the Neil deGrasse Tyson response to Terrance Howard.
So this is Terrance Howard attempting to reinvent mathematics and physics. A little backstory.
Successfully, too, by the way.
Initial interest in Terrance.
Let's see what the comments are saying now. Because when this initially came out, all the comments were like, "Man, Terrance Howard is a fucking genius."
Nah. Okay, I do know of Terrance Howard. I've heard a bit of the. Nah, it's nonsense. The nonsense he's spewing. It's funny though, and like he's passionate about it. That's the crazy part about it. Like it's something that he really believes in, and I think that's why it's so interesting. I mean, at least for me, because like to be so passionate about something that so everybody is like, yo, bro, there is basic like factual evidence that this does not work out like this. But let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's hear him out.
Man, Terrance Howard really gets it. I didn't realize he was so intelligent. Meanwhile, he's actually just talking about gobbledygook. 1 × 1 = 2. I've reinvented sacred geometry with a hydrogen proton, selling drones to Uganda based on the hydrogen proton geometry, which the drones don't exist. Okay. Now the comments have flipped. They turned on him. I still remember the day, well actually the 3 or 4 days after this episode came out, people were like, "Man, Terrance Howard is so fucking smart. Look at what he said and look at what he did."
Yo, happy holidays, no
and all
mind.
the comments were on his
Good to
side
see you in the
and
chat,
shit,
brother.
like, damn, so deep. I knew we couldn't trust math. But Charlie, he invented virtual reality. Check out his patent. Oh, I know. Not only did he invent virtual reality, he invented the very fucking dimension in which we inhabit while he was still in his mother's womb. Did you know he has memories from the womb?
How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
He's just
How's the day
built
been
so
for everybody?
different. Would you debate?
We're just
Terrance
checking out
Howard
this
on his
Moist
math?
Critical video.
Sure.
He's supposed to be
Feel like
talking a bit
anyone would be more
about
than
Terrance
willing
Howard
to.
and some of the.
But I also feel like if someone's going to debate, Terrance
from what I
Howard, it
know,
should
the
be
nonsense
me,
he's been talking
because
about,
that would
like,
immediately bring Terrance
I
Howard,
think one of
who
like
was
the actual
supposed to be
things he
the
said is
math-
like how like
the guy
1 × 1
reinventing
like
math
actually
down to
equals
the
2.
level of just a fucking
And
Google
I think specifically he was like his issue with like 1 × 1 like equaling 1 was that the purpose of multiplication is what's it called? The purpose of multiplication is like to add basically, and he's like, why can't you add? Why isn't it adding in that form? So that's where I think that's where he starts, and then he just works backwards from there.
No matter what you say, no matter what, you can never show that 1 × 1 = 2, but you can always show that 1 × 1
I'm dead
equals
serious.
1. It's the easiest demonstration ever, and the only way
Bro,
Terrance Howard uses
fucking he's like extremely, that's crazy. On Juneteenth is crazy. He's extremely popular in like obviously within the black community, but he had his start I think in like Tyler Perry movies or something like that. But he was actually the first War Machine in the first Iron Man movie. Let me see movies and shows. Yeah, Iron Man. He was War Machine in the first Iron Man, but like he's Empire. He's pretty big. Big Mama's House. Let me see. What? I heard that like 4 Brothers. If you heard him, like yeah. He's in a ton of popular movies though, and I don't even know was any of these Tyler Perry movies. I might be wrong in that. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, no. So now he has stepped away from acting, and now honestly, it's just pseudoscience. He stepped into pseudoscience. I can't even call it like a form of science or like mathematics. It's just like some shit that he made up.
his way out of it every time is just nonsense quantum buzzwords. If you debated him, you should just out buzzword him. Oh, I'd be dropping so many buzzwords on him just to like throw him in like some kind of fucking stun lock. Mr. Howard, please stop bloviating. It's like you haven't even considered the Bose-Einstein paradox. As of course you know, this
literally.
is elementary. And he'd be like, Bose-Einstein, Higgs boson. Action Bronson believes in Terrance Howard.
Oh nah, bro. Come on.
Oh my god. Wait, is it?
Come on. Action Bronson, bro. Hey, no, Amon, you and Action Bronson, y'all in it together, bro. You, Action Bronson, and Terrance Howard, the big three. Y'all in it together. That's crazy. Like, and I'm gonna say this before he even starts like actually talking about it, bro. The issue with his whole argument, bro, is like the purpose of multiplication is not to add. The purpose of multiplication is telling you how many of a grouping is already there. You feel me? So like 1 times 1 equals 1 because there's already one grouping there. So like let's see. I'm blanking for no reason, but 2 times 4 equals 8 because there's 2 groups of 4 there. Does that make sense? Like I don't know if, like, I'm not a mathematician, bro. I'm bad in math and geography. Those are like the worst subjects. My favorite subjects in school were English, like, and that's why like I'm super big on media literacy. But what he's talking about is just straight nonsense.
Is it a joke?
What in the actual fuck?
First of all,
I understand it though.
I kind of understand it.
I understand.
I mean, it made sense.
To me, he's making me believe.
He's way too smart.
Whoa, what?
There's no way he just make.
This fucking genius.
No,
you
literally.
can't just make up 1 times 1 equals 2. That's that you can't do it. That's inconceivable.
He's a lunatic. Like I've
You
heard
can't
people
just
say,
lie. You can't
he's
just come up on
lunatic,
that. You
he's
can't
making
just.
things. I'm like, I don't think that's correct. He knows too much. So is
I like how Joe Rogan immediately believes
Possible.
that Terrance.
It's good to see you in the chat. It's good to see you in the chat. Wait, what's that link under there? It's a cool link under that Fossilbot. What? I would check that out. See something about that.
Howard remembers being in his mother's womb and waving at his hand. He named his hand in his mom's womb before he had any concept of words or anything. In pitch darkness, he named his fucking hand and called it his friend in his mom's womb. He knows so much.
Terrance Howard has to sit down with someone who's an academic, someone who's got a PhD,
Like Joe
whatever,
Rogan
to
or Action
talk
Bronson.
about. And they can have a discussion, and you can see what he really knows and just what he can say to me. Right?
No.
To me, it all makes sense, but I'm a moron.
No, you're not.
No. I've seen like actual. Hold on. There's a video of. Let me see if I can find it. Give me a second. Terrance Howard. Yeah, boom. He did a talk at Oxford, and it's long as hell. I want to see if there's like highlights. Let me see. Whatever I see. The sun, the electric sun model, the flower. Here we go. The flower of life. Let's just start here.
Called the flower of life. Now, do you know the flower of life? Have you guys ever seen this before? Now, you know this is one of the oldest symbols in human history, right? Or do you not know? This symbol was found in the Temple of Osiris in Egypt, and it had been molecularly burned into the wall. And it's 6,000 years old. This same symbol has been found in the forbidden temples in China, sitting under the fufu dogs. And the foot on it, the flower of life, saying whoever controlled that flower of life controlled the universe. There were secrets in that flower of life that Da Vinci spent his whole life trying to uncover. There were secrets in that flower of life that Newton spent his whole life in secret trying to uncover. The same secrets that Pythagoras was desperately trying to uncover. But their problem was they kept seeing this in a two-dimensional space. They couldn't get it out of this two-dimensional frame.
I just want to remind y'all, this man was War Machine in Iron Man 2. Iron Man 1. Iron Man 1. War Machine in Iron Man 1. They recasted him. I think because of some stuff like, well, I don't know if it was involving like all this stuff, but yeah.
And as a result, they got stuck in this plane, a flat plane. Now, what Da Vinci and all of them wanted to do, they were
Appreciate
trying to
the
find a way
follow.
to bring this flower to life, because what is inside
No,
of it?
Ramon, appreciate the
Well,
follow. Thank
apparently,
you, gang.
there were secrets inside of it. Shapes, they got the Merkaba and all of those other things out of it. But they were misled by something I think called a straight line. You guys believe in straight lines? You believe there's straight lines in the universe? Well, let me hit you with something. All energy in the universe is expressed in what? It's in motion. If something is still, there's no energy. Kinetic, right? All motion is expressed in what? You look at galaxies, are they expressed in straight lines? Expressed in vortices. All vortices are expressed in what? Waves. All waves are curved. Show
Bro.
me a straight line in nature. You show me where the platonic solids come from. Where do they have their foundations in our universe? Are there any straight lines? If you look at anything, there are no straight lines. That's been the mistake. We've been looking at these straight lines as
Bro. Oh, this is bad. I ain't gonna hold you because I'm low-key shaking right now because I'm like, bro, I can't think of any straight lines in nature. No. I was just clowning this nigga, bro, and I can't think of any straight lines in nature. Am I stupid? Hold on. Like, I'm thinking like grass grows like, you know, straight, like, you feel me? But like, or plants, you feel me? But like, even those be curved sometimes. So I'm like, oh man. He might have just fucked me up with that one. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I am not gonna hold y'all. He might have just fucked me up with that one. Am I hearing him out too much? I might be hearing this man out too much, bro.
Euclidean way of thinking and missing the curvature of nature. So here we are, back with the curvature of nature, and you have all these little pieces. Now this has always been an information system. So compare some of these points, take a point here, and say, well, what's the space in between all of these things? Now they've said that all the in-between spaces, if this is the Earth and this is the moon right here, all this in-between space is filled with what? A void. There's nothing in the void. Well, I found that there is something in the void. The elementary fundamental particles that they've been searching for at the CERN collider, the Hadron Collider in CERN, I found that their energy signatures matched perfectly to some of the pieces that I was able to pull out of here. So I'm gonna bring some of those now. Do I have a minute?
Oh man.
Am I good?
He just throwing shit at you.
Now, all of this was supposed to be on a projector for you guys. I don't have that. So what I do have is a bit of a Chanel bag, or an old Chanel bag, a box, as it were.
Bro, I
And we're
don't
going to talk
know.
about a couple of items in here.
I think because like he hasn't even gotten into the whole math argument yet, or he might have early in the video and I skipped past it. We started at 6 minutes though, so I don't know. But he's getting into like waves and the fact that within nature there are no straight lines, and like there's a void. They were told that there's a void within space, but he's like, oh, I found something within space, and I'm guessing he's gonna bring up waves again, and it's like, well, duh. Like we know that when people say void, they don't mean like it's like that. I think, I don't know. We'll see.
that are so hard to even express here. Afterwards, y'all gonna have to just take a look at these. My God, I won't have the time to do it. I couldn't show you, but I am going to show you. I didn't come here not to show you. Now, whether you guys are able to
When's the question
express,
answer? Where is the most watched?
understand,
I mean, it's coming up most replayed
Some of
right here,
these
so
things.
watch it through.
Lord help me. Good confused. What I've done is I've figured out about 7 different elementary particles, fundamental particles. And then there were secondary generational particles that seemed to occur. And when these things began to build up more and more, they began to create their own systems. And these systems is what I've brought to Oxford because I would like for you guys to examine them, put them to test. Because I bet you will find all the fundamental particles that they've been looking for in the unified theory of the universe. It's a big statement, but I've got a lot of stuff to back it up. if given the opportunity.
It's like, I want to hear it. What you mean?
But the flower of life has been opened, and when we get an opportunity, I'd love to show you some of these things. Can I go on?
Cam Bowie, thank you for joining, my guy. How you feeling?
Without being able to show the pieces, it's a whole different monster. But all of these wave conjugations, all of these states of matter, all of these things, it's time for that to be changed.
Doing good, gang, doing good.
We have changed all of our...
Now we're talking about Terrance Howard and some of the stuff he's been talking about. You know, he's an actor turned mathematician, what's it called? Scientist, did he say geologist? No, I'm being stupid. I'm being very stupid. Yeah, he does stuff with planets. There we go. That's what we're gonna say.
Buildings to be aerodynamic. Our airplanes are no longer based on a two-dimensional Euclidean way of life, but our math is still based on a two-dimensional way. And I think in order for us to reach the future, we have to examine that. Do you guys know about loops in math? Do you believe in loops? Do you know the square root of 2? Do you think that's a loop? Do you believe that the square root of 2 is the square root of 2? Yes or no? Hands up, no? Hello? Oh, I want y'all to take out your phone for a minute then. We're gonna do one thing. Everybody got a phone? Put it on the calculator and turn it to the side so you can get all the long numbers out of it. Okay? Now I want you to put in 2 and square root it. 2, hit the square root. You'll get 1.414213562373095 ... right? Now I want you guys to do me a favor, cube it. It'll see right over there, it'll be x to the 3. Can y'all do it? Have you cubed it? It'll see 2.828427121746190. Now that makes sense. I want you guys to do me a favor, divide it by 2. Got that number?
This has just evolved into turning this sounding like one of those Facebook posts where like, oh, I bet I can guess your birthday, you know, and they just start like doing math with like, oh, what year were you born? Subtract that by this number, and then add multiply 2 by multiply 2, and it's just at this point it just sounds like him just being able to memorize like math equations that he's like, you know, looked a lot over. I'm not good at math, so I'm not gonna be able to run this off the top of the head, but like he can obviously, so it looks good.
Cube it again, divide it by 2, cube it again, and I want you to do that until the end of your lives. And that number will still come up with 2.828427121746190. Any other number that you, above 2, that you put in and you cube and you square, cube and square and divide by 2, by the 6th operation, it has moved into an exponential number that you can't even imagine. Any number below 2 that you do that same operation with, it will go into an exponentially small matter and number. This is what we call a loop.
Quite good models in there,
yes,
of how they connect together and how you have managed to put it into a 3D shape rather than just people looking at 2D. Perhaps you want to explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, the idea of, like one of the things I've been saying, the Euclidean mindset has kept us so locked away. Like there's tons of paperwork of Da Vinci working on the flower of life and trying to unravel.
When does he start doing the questions?
Every single existence, every single example, you see him making straight lines and trying to make these straight lines bend in, and therefore he was never able to open it up because all the universe is curved, all space is curved. And as a result, what I was doing in trying to find these straight lines, I abandoned the idea of the straight line. The shortest distance between 2 points is curved space, because you cannot force your way straight through space. Even electricity, as it moves from a southern plane to a northern plane, it always goes northeast in its direction. And
the quickest way is not, you can't just force. How do you even apply that to like real life though? Like in like practicality and like physicality, how do you apply that? Because if we're in a race and I can just go straight and somebody else has to go make a roundabout in a, like, that just doesn't make any sense, bro. I don't, yeah, we just gonna go to the questions at this point, bro. I just needed to make sure, cause like he had me in the first half a little bit, bro, cause I ain't, but like, yeah, like I said, maybe I was just tripping. No, I was tripping.
Thank you for coming. I just had a question about kind of acting and physics as well. Just like, I know that you said that physics was your drive and like how you are doing acting, and I just want to know like how you got academically like interested in physics itself, because I kind of feel like they're a little bit different, but I think that the bridge that you have between them are really cool.
No, they're all, well, everything is based on chemical reactions. In order for me to become a character, I have to change my chemical composition of how I'm thinking, and as a result, that changes how I position myself, which changes how the heat is generated and transferred out in and out of my body. Everything comes down to chemistry, you know. So acting and physics, in physics, when two things are drawn to each other, it's because they are of similar charge. It's not positive, because they say negatives attract, but cold air drops down. Does it attract to the hot air rising up? No, it passes right by each other, because negatives, opposites don't attract, it's positives that attract to each other. Two positives drawn to each other, two negatives discharge each other. So it's all about,
I just wanted to put that there, just so y'all see that.
And it's how the physics, how another actor is.
Yeah, I spelled chemistry wrong. I'm not, no, I'm paying attention. Quickly typing, but yeah, y'all get it.
It's all physics.
Okay.
Y'all get it.
Anyone? Yeah, let's go to you.
Hey, Terrance. My name is Carrick, and I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. And so earlier you mentioned about acting, and I just had a question about the entertainment industry. Being that I'm from Atlanta, everyone swears they're a rapper or that they can rap. Even my grandma said she was dropping a gospel mixtape. So that's dropping this spring, apparently. And so I have an older brother who actually wants to get into the music industry. And it got me thinking about Hustle and Flow. It probably wasn't as gritty as Hustle and Flow was, but he's really trying to get his name out there. And so my question to you is, what advice would you have for someone who's trying to break into the entertainment industry, whether it be acting or music? Also, I got a copy of his songs on here if you want to listen to it on the way back home.
Well, you just said it right. You said break into the business. How do you break into something?
Oh, well, enter the business if that.
No, you had it right. Because they don't want you in there. Everybody else wants that job. They're trying to keep you out. So you have to break into the business. How do you break into something? It's a little cunning involved in that. And there's a little violence involved in that. It's aggression involved in breaking into something. So there's passion involved in that. And that passion is what's going to drive you wherever you're supposed to be. I can tell you, go over to, to 5th and Dunbar, and it's going to happen.
Okay, these questions aren't really the ones I want to hear. Let's get to, here we go.
Specific things in a character that you're going to portray, or do you just immerse yourself into the character and see how it goes from there?
They're all asking about his acting stuff. Ask him about the shit he just said out his mouth.
And then the fiction. The truth is,
like, what is wrong with these people? They just talking to him.
I woke up inside my mother's womb at about 6 months of age. I woke up inside of there.
Bro, yeah.
Think about those
They're not
things.
asking him about, like, any of the shit he just said out his mouth, bro. This is blowing me. All right, here we go. Hold on.
Thank you so much. I've always been interested in acting, so it's pretty cool to be in the presence of an actor. But my question actually has to do with your numbers theory.
Thank you. Thank you.
So if by your logic you say 1 times 1 equals 2, are you insinuating that 1 times 0 then equals 1?
Equals 1. Well, that's what we were saying with the identity principle, the identity property. It says that 1 times nothing equals nothing. So now you have the laws of physics have to now adjust because.
Bro, what? What, bro? He said, and you could see the quiver in his lips when he said it. Oh man, I just fucked up where he was at, but you could see the quiver in his lips when he said it, bro. He couldn't keep a serious face. Oh my God. He said, what? Times nothing. It equals nothing. It's like, oh my God. Bro, what's wrong with this man? No, he's on dumb type timing. He's being dummy for sure. I think, bro, you have to be doing this purposefully. There's no way. This is not accidental. Cause like he knows enough to like, one, get a seat at Oxford, I guess, and like two, to be able to like understand the words that he's saying enough to like put them in a cohesive sentence until it starts getting questioned. Because like right now he's getting ready to start jumping around, but hold on, let's see.
Identity property, it says that 1 times nothing
he put up
equals
1.
nothing. Something, so now you have, the laws of physics have to now adjust because something just disappeared. Conservation of energy can't be created.
Why though?
Or destroyed.
Why?
So
Why did something just disappear? Is it just because you said so? Nigga, what? Oh my God. This might be one of those times where it's like, bro, just shut up and act, bro. Just like what? I respect him, man. I respect him what he do, bro. But like, this is no. Like, you're just wrong. Oh my God, bro.
0 equals 0, then what happened to the energy of the 1? Isn't that the same problem that Stephen Hawking was talking about with the event horizon and the information going in and still being present? That conflict that was started? Well, that's because of the math. The principles in the math are not founded on truth. It's not founded on substance. The identity principle, anything times 0 is 0 and anything times 1 is 1. Where is that number? Where is that exemplified in nature or in universal phenomena? Is it? Do you see that?
So then, are you saying that 1 times 5 would be 6?
Yes. Well, what does it say in the associative and commutative thing?
So you're
if A and B
proposing-
are positive integers, it says if A and B are positive integers, A is to be added to itself as many times as is indicated by units in B.
So you're not proposing an audit. You're proposing like a
Well, I'm not the first one
reconstruction
to
of
say
the way
we
we
need to do
understand
this.
math.
You know what's interesting? In 1856, a man from Liverpool named Richard Dover Statter challenged the Dewey Decimal System and said that it was wrong and created an entirely new system to show how it can be brought into correction. So I'm not the first person to state this. It's a number of people did it, but look up Richard Dover Statter. Try and find him. You won't find him because he's been erased from history almost. But what is the thing called, honey? Dewey Decimal System as a whole. The Dewey Decimal System as a whole. And you will see that we are headed to, the Titanic is headed to an iceberg over there with our numbers. If we don't make a change soon, we're going to crash as a species because our math needs to work in order for our science and our future to develop.
Sorry, one last question.
You know, he's right. He's right. I mean, we see it every day, bro. We're about to crash as a species. It's because of our math. Everything's just not adding up.
So sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you think it's do you think that the reason that we have like economic crises, for example, is because we are not understanding our numbers correctly according to your theory?
Well, I think we have an economic problem because we are the only creatures in this universe that use currency. There are no other creatures that use currency in order to exist. Why is it that we chose this strange thing that isn't even real? Other creatures, they drink water, they eat fruit, they eat other animals. We exchange with currency, and our system of exchanging with currency is flawed because of greed. There's not like if 1 times 1 equals 2, we've got an equilibrium of balance. 1 times 1 equals 1, you've got loss. When 1 times 1 equals 3 or more, you're talking about over unity and supersymmetry. And that's how you get the universe to work for you. Instead of using just the solar voltaics off of it, you also use
this man. All right, yeah, no, I'm done with this. I can't watch this man spit this no more, bro, because it's like I'm personally not invested in that enough to like understand the words and terms and stuff that he's using for real. And I also don't really care. I don't really care. Yeah.